And welcome back to our Gridiron Preview. Nine-man football in South Dakota is always very entertaining. Also always very entertaining, Jason Andera of Midco Sports Network. AA in 9AA has been dominated by Gregory the last few years. They graduated some real talent. Is that going to continue this year?
Yeah, everybody's looking at the two D1 players leaving a nine-man team, and you just pretty much toss them aside. This is a different Gregory team. They still have two all-state defenders on the team, and one of the fastest guys in the state in Caleb Stukel. So I think they're still definitely a contender here. They know what they're doing. They know how to win, but they've got very difficult schedule. They've got to play like a Woolsey, Wessington, Miller, two teams that I also think are in the top 5. So those teams are going to kind of beat up on each other. You might see a team like Bonhomme come up through the ranks. There's going to be some really good teams in this 9AA.
So in other words, it's kind of a coin toss at this point.
It is. I do have to say, though, I think Karst Hunter might be the best player in this entire class. Quarterback for Miller, Highmore Herald. He really could take a step up this year, arm talent-wise, and put his team on his back.
Just committed to South Dakota State, too.
How about Class 9A? Britton Heckler won it last year. Are they going to do the same thing again?
This one, we're under the radar. There's going to be a lot of teams kind of making their way through the schedule. Britton Heckler, again, lost their 2 best offensive producers on offense, but they've got a lot back, too, with Stanley Haskins Jr. coming back. And last year, he played conservatively. This year, they'll definitely lean on him. Great group of guys coming up through that are juniors this year. But I'm watching for Howard. That's the team I thought last year maybe would make the big jump. And they did. They got better, much better. But this year, they might be title contender worthy because their backfield is so stocked. They haven't been that stocked since, Luke Loudenberg was in town.
Days.
They've got a really good offensive backfield.
Coleman Egan had a rare repeat. They won a 9A and then they won a 9B title, but they lost their big duo, the Gross boys. 9B looks pretty wide open for anybody to take right now.
Chad Williamson has done a great job with Coleman Egan. Since he's taken over, stability. They've really gotten to be a good program, and they've got a good junior in Dalton Volker who's going to kind of take over and be the playmaker there. So they'll have playmakers. They'll be a top 5 team. They just won't be the upper crust because I think you got to look at Sully Buttes. That's a team, so many athletes, have made it to the Dome so many times, haven't quite gotten over, but I think they've got some real talent on that Sully Buttes team. I'm looking for them to make it their year.
They're always good. And next year when we have you in, we'll be talking about 6-man football, too.
That'll be interesting.
Don't go away. Zach and I are going to come back to wrap up our Gridiron Preview show. We'll talk Iowa and Minnesota right after this break.